Go ahead.
Good way to end this kind of stretch here and go into the break.
Yeah. Pretty happy with the way our guys played again tonight. From the goaltender out against a really good team, and it's nice to win a couple games and be playing some solid hockey going into the break. So guys feel good about it now. They can get away from the game for a little bit, do a little bit of conditioning, and hopefully pick up where we left off.
After the Nate and Miko show the other night, is it nice to get some contributions from a lot of other guys?
Yeah, and we've been getting that. Just because Nate and Miko and those guys have been tearing it up doesn't mean we haven't been getting some decent contributions from the rest of our lineup here recently. And that's why we're able to put up a handful of goals a night instead of one or two. It's not just those guys contributing, but they're obviously driving the bus, but we've been getting some nice play out of a lot of other guys on the team.
What is your assessment of Zach Parisi in this point of his career, and just where do you see him fitting on this roster?
Yeah, I mean, he's a highly dedicated player. When it comes to his habits, they're elite, a lot like Cogliano in that, an older guy that's been around, great leadership. I think you take his reliability. He's played 82 games the last couple of years. It's because he takes care of himself off the ice and has those types of habits that we really like. And he chips in offensively. He does a great job as a trusted guy on the defensive side. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll get him in here, see what he looks like with our group, and we'll make a decision.
What are you looking at for the team during the break after a couple days off? Like, what are you evaluating and looking at to see what you can get better for the rest of the season?
Oh, for the rest of the season?
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming out of the break, I expect us to be able to pick up right where we left off. There's going to be a little bit of rust, but the beauty of it is, like I talked about the other day, is every team's in the same boat, right? Like everyone's going to come off this break. So the team that can get their habits back and their competitiveness back and the attention to detail back the quickest is going to have success out of the gate. The second half of the year for me now, we've seen enough games. We're going to get in this stretch run. It's about refining our game and making sure that the standard gets pushed. Like we've had a lot of growing. Every team does first half of the year. And so we'll challenge our guys to get better in all areas with the puck, without it, offensively, defensively, and start nitpicking a little bit, I've already told our guys that. I actually told them that just the other day. Like when we come back off this break, just be prepared for it. I remember, we had the 3 straight second round losses, and then the next year, you're coaching a lot in the first half of the year, then you try to let them play a little bit. And then we started really sort of nitpicking at things. We had a meeting with our leadership group, and we started showing a lot more of our video, even on game days instead of as much of the opposition, and during our game reviews, and like things that are good but not good enough. Like right now we're showing mistakes and things that we got to clean up, but we'll start really nitpicking at stuff, and I'll tell them, it could be nitpicking, but when it comes down to the most important time of the year, we're going to have to be better than that, and just keep raising the bar a little bit. And as long as we have our leaders buy in and our teams buy in, they'll understand why as we kind of move on. And but I think it's really important because the finer details of your game, not that we don't talk about them now, but I think like on a daily or in the game reviews on a daily basis, we'll really start digging into that.
What is the plan right now for Parisi in terms of when he's going to get to Denver, skate with the team? Do you have a potential target for his debut?
Yeah, he'll come in with the rest of our players. He's actually going to come in. I'm pretty sure that he's going to be in Thursday, Friday. We have some guys that are going to skate Friday, Saturday on their own. We can't force them to do any of that. And Sunday morning we practice and leave. So he'll be here, and wouldn't be surprised to see him on the ice either Friday or Saturday, but definitely Sunday morning before we go. Yeah.
Did you have an inkling that someone like Parisi would be in addition to this group, specifically after Tomas Tatar was traded? Was that an area of the roster you pinpointed? There was a hole and a need for forward depth and
that is the need, right? Like I'm liking the way our 8D are playing. We've got great contributions from Malinsky, adds a strength to our team that some of our other guys don't have. We still have Jonesy, who's not playing a lot, but he's played really well when he's been in the lineup. Goaltending is starting to really shape up and has come around. We like where we're at in some of those spots. The forward depth and adding some, like when Val's gone for a while, we don't know, like it just seems like we're always missing a piece or two, so adding some depth up front I think is important. I think that's been identified early on in the season. The guys that we have are doing everything they can and playing really well, but to be able to add a versatile guy like Parise will really help sort of our lineup keep slotting into the right spots and put our guys in the best positions to have success.
Coach Ariat had another really solid game tonight. Is that just kind of that continuation of him building his confidence and just?
Yeah, I think it is. I think like that's 2 really good games in a row, right? Like we didn't give up a lot tonight, but like we give up 3 breakaways. I don't think that they'd be over 12, 13, 14 chances, which is kind of like where we like to try and keep a team. 12 is pushing it, especially when there's power plays and penalty kills. We got to keep under 15 every night. We had the turnover late in the first, makes a big save. We have the turnover by Bo that goes for a breakaway, and then they get the perfect timing on. We had the power play attack to the net, and he comes out of the box, right? And he made some big saves, and that's what I want to see out of our guy. Just make the saves you're supposed to make, mix in a few of the really tough ones, and you'll give us a really good chance to win. And it started with him tonight, and same thing the other night. And our team was energized. It was playing well.
Coach, Nathan McKinnon's going into the All-Star break a point in every home game. We've asked you about him a lot, but I guess, what do you do in a situation like this when he's rolling like this right now? How do you interact with him as coach to play?
Same way I always do. Same way I do when he's not rolling. To be honest with you, if I have I try to leave Nate alone certain days, and certain days if I have information for him that I think that can help him, and I don't have to do it a lot because now with the iPads and he's so in tune with everything, they're looking at it constantly. And if I'm seeing something repeatedly, habitually that he's doing that I think he can change to give himself a better chance to help produce offense or on the defending side of it, I just let him know. I might show him a quick clip too. Lots of times it's same thing. He'll show up in our game review meetings, and good and bad sometimes. And so that's how I expect our players to learn. They don't have to see 30 clips of themselves, but if I show Nate one clip of something that he's doing really well that's working, I want him to keep trying to repeat it. And if it's something that's not so good, it's not working or hurting us, I'll show him one clip and we'll talk about it, discuss it, and he'll implement it into his game.
Last questions? Good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, very good.